Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the Interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the Shire in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Oh my goodness, it's super early in the morning for the ReNDoG. I've had some coffee, I've had some breakfast, and I am in the mood to play some Minecraft with you fine people out there. Last episode, we were working on some really cool stuff out here. We set up this little bridge at the very top of the Shire, and today we're going to be tackling a rather interesting task. An idea that I got from a comment that was made by one of you guys in, I can't remember which episode it was, but it's a really cool idea. I want to try and pull it off. I know that we still need to finish off the Spider-Matic and actually figure out a way to deliver the cave spiders and kill them. But you know what, guys? I'm not quite ready to deal with spiders just yet. It's going to take me a little bit more time to prepare my soul to get poisoned over and over and over and over again. So today we're going to spend a little bit more time under the beautiful blue sky in the Shire, and we're going to work on a pretty interesting project together. A bit of a mini project, really, and something that's going to help out with the lore of our world. Now, since we were last together, I've been pretty hard at work out here. I want to show you a little bit of the things that I've been doing. I was having a little bit of a problem with this particular path that takes us up to the fields of the dog. It was looking pretty janky and I don't know, it didn't really have much structure to it, so I've been working pretty hard off camera to try and make this look a lot more like an actual path, right? Try give it a little bit more definition, and now we can see that it actually does look like a road that goes up this mountainside all the way up to the fields of the dog. Also added in a few more bits of details, a couple more of these lamp posts, I suppose, that brings us all the way up here, and I've also worked a little bit at the top here at the fields of the dog, so we have a much more defined road as we come over this bridge, right? Pretty cool. So now we can see it very clearly takes us down here toward the storage hole and the entrance to the mole hole. And all in all, I think it looks a lot less chaotic and a little bit more Shire-y, right? I really like the rural nature of this. It's exactly the kind of road that the gobbets would build, I think. And yeah, that's looking pretty special. I haven't made any changes to the bridge, and actually, I gotta say, after reading the comments in the previous episode, I actually really like the bridge now, and the majority of you guys out there like the bridge too. So we're going to keep it just the way that it is now, and I think that it works really nicely now that it actually connects to some sort of a road, some sort of a path, right? Makes quite a lot of sense. Now, we're going to have to start working a little bit on this section of the path itself, because at the moment we can't actually get around the corner into the molehole city that we're eventually going to be building, and I thought we'd kick things off today just by trying to figure out exactly how we might come around the corner over here, right? And I think that's going to be pretty simple. Let's just open up a little bit of blockage over here, a couple of trees that we need to get rid of, and I guess we'll replant them at some point too, because we want to have as much greenery in the Shire as possible, right? It's a very fertile area of the world, so we don't want to remove too much shrubbery. But if we get rid of all of these leaves, let's just pop all of these out of the way. That's going to give us a very clear indication of where this path might take us. And I've been thinking this morning while I was munching away on my cereal and having my coffee, that maybe what we could do today is figure out a little bit of a road foundation for exactly what the top of the molehole over here might look like, right? So I guess this is going to be called Moletown, or maybe we call this Moletown. That could be pretty cool. And maybe what we could do today is start working on a very fundamental road network that could run all the way through here. So if we set up a sort of structure for a road system up here, that'll give us a good idea where we can build some buildings and stuff. But more importantly today, guys, I want to work on a very interesting project. You see this pillar over here? Very janky, I know. At the very bottom of this pillar is the Nether Portal Cave. At the very bottom of this block of pillars, or this pillar anyway, is the Portal Cave, which of course leads into the Mines of the Dog. One of you guys out there in the comments of a previous episode gave me a really cool suggestion. You said, hey Ren, why don't you create a secret passage from within the Shire that will be able to take you down into the Mines of the Dog? And I think that's a really sweet idea, okay? And here's the story behind it. Before there was the Shire, before there was the Mines of the Dog, before there was any civilization out here, there was a secret cave passage that led down to that very dangerous dangerous and deadly nether portal cave that we have in the bottom of the Mines of the Dog. And that portal cave was discovered by the Gobbets, and the Mines of the Dog were originally crafted as, I guess, a research passage, so that the wizards that come by to visit the Gobbets every now and then could examine that very deadly portal and try to figure out what's going on. So that kind of gives a reason for the existence of the Mines of the Dog, and it also gives us another entryway into the Mines of the Dog from Moletown up here, as well as another entry toward our nether portal that's down there too. And I noticed something really interesting about this part of the world when I was working up here. And take a look at this. We've got a natural little cave exit over here that takes us out of Moletown onto the other side of the wall. And I think that's really cool. I kind of want to keep this, right? This little cave. I think it looks really sweet. So this is what I was thinking. Maybe what we could do is find some sort of a way to create a secret passageway in this position that is going to maybe spiral down all the way toward our nether portal cave. And the way that we're going to do this today is going to be kind of tricky to do, actually. What I've done is I've dug all the way up from our portal cave, and I have laid down a pillar, rather, of spruce wood planks, right? This goes all the way down to the portal cave, and what we're going to need to do for this secret passageway is kind of spiral around this pillar, and eventually, hopefully, we will get to a position where we can follow this cave into the portal room and into the Mines of the Dog, right? So that's going to be pretty cool. We're going to have to make this passageway look as natural as possible, right? I want this to look like a very super ancient passageway, and maybe what we should do is find out exactly where that pillar is in here, and that'll give us a great idea of how exactly we should spiral around it, right? That's going to be kind of tricky to do. So that's one of the things we're going to be doing today. But before we get to that, I'd like to start working on a little bit of a foundation for the road, because that's going to be the easy thing to do today. This is going to be the tricky thing. So let's leave that for the next part of the episode. To start things off, though, let's try and work on an actual road foundation for Moletown, right? And maybe what we should do is just lay down a few blocks over here, and we can use our shovel to create some road designs over here. So I think we're probably going to have to do quite a lot of terraforming. But if we just start with an initial design for this road, let's just go with a single block road to start off with, right? So if the road sort of comes around here, maybe it goes around the bend of this mountainside, and then maybe what we'll need to do is terraform over here to raise the land a little bit, right? So that we can create a road that is maybe going to go across this area, and it's going to come all the way around here. Now, what we want to make sure that we do is leave enough space on either side of the road for us to build a whole bunch of buildings and a whole bunch of houses and facilities and stuff that we can use in our Minecraft survival series. So let's make sure we don't go too close to the road, or too close to the wall anyway. Oh, and by the way, I've also finished off building the top of the wall too. You can see I've added torches and rails all the way around now, and I finished that off. I think we started working on that a few episodes ago. But let's try and follow the contours a little bit also of the area that we're working with. So maybe this road goes all the way up here. It might come a little bit close to this wall over here, but that's okay. Maybe we just have a small house in this position, and maybe what we can do then is come across here and create some sort of a natural bridge, I guess, that might come across here. Maybe we want to add a river or a lake down here at some point. That could be pretty cool. But maybe the road comes across a natural bridge like this, right? And we can just wait for that grass to grow before we turn it into a path. But for now, let's just keep on going, right? So the road's going to come across here, try and follow the contours of, I guess, what will become a small little bit of water up here. That could be pretty cool. And maybe the road will then take a right turn in this direction. And we want to have a nice bit of space back here in Moletown, right? This is a nice bit to work with. So maybe the road comes down here and just follows all the way around in this direction, comes all the way over to the edge here, and maybe then we can find some sort of a way to get the road to go down and connect up to the railway station that we're going to be building over there. All right, that feels pretty good to me, actually, as a bit of a road network. Can we actually get a view of this road network? I mean, maybe we even want another road that comes up here, right? So sort of like a smaller road that comes up here. because we want to have buildings here and on this side too. So we want to be able to connect those buildings up to some sort of a road. So maybe there's another one that comes like this, and then maybe there's some smaller roads here too, right? So we've got a little bit of a big area over here. So maybe we have another road that sort of branches off in this direction, and that'll take us to another little area tucked into this part of the wall, which I think will be pretty cool. And let's see if we can actually get a nice bird's eye view of this road network, see if we've missed out on any big areas of Moletown that we could add a road to. Let's pillar ourselves all the way up, and that should give us a nice idea of how our road network might be looking like. So the road comes out of the mole hole, comes around here, sort of veers off in that direction, and then comes back again, goes all the way here, then it branches off a couple of times, once here, once there, and then goes all the way back around. You know what? That actually is looking pretty good. I like the way that's turned out. I think that's going to be really good for a road network, and I guess all I need to do is expand on these roads a little bit, maybe add some lampposts and stuff to that. So yeah, that's actually worked out really nicely. I like it. Cyberdogs, we be making some serious progress up in the Mole Shire today. The map is looking absolutely amazing. I've just updated it as I've been working quite hard on these roads in the foundations of Moletown. I've expanded the roads a little bit, and I've made sure that these roads are completely walkable for us as we travel through the foundations of Moletown. I'm going to show you exactly what's cracking up here, but I did want to have a look at the map. Doesn't it look awesome? I love this section in particular. We can see that path going down to the storage hole very clearly, the bridge going across the river. Oh, this place is coming together. Something fierce, man. Let me show you exactly what I've done upstairs, though, and then we can work on that tunnel that's going to be going down to the portal chamber. And my idea for this road was to make sure that I could walk on the road without having to jump at any point, right? And that's why I've been using these slabs to get us up the different blocks over here. And we're going to cross the bridge, and we're going to come into the foundations of Moletown, and we're going to follow this road all the way around. I've got some of these lampposts up here too. I don't know if I'll keep them in their current positions, but I did want to get a little bit more work done up here so that we can start getting a little bit of inspiration as to what we want to build up here. And I've already got some really great ideas for some buildings and stuff that we can do up here. I think what we're probably going to get working on as a first thing for Moletown is maybe like a really awesome blacksmith facility. I've realized that our world here doesn't really have a good way to smelt items. We got some furnaces in the mole hole, but it's pretty janktastic, baby. There's just like 10 furnaces on top of each other, so maybe we can start working on a really awesome blacksmith, maybe in this position right here next to the cows. I don't know, that could work. But yeah, that's looking awesome, right? The road's looking real good. Inspiration is flowing. Can't wait to start working up here. Now, let's get down into this cave that we started a little bit earlier today. I have also managed to discover exactly where that pillar of spruce plankage is. It's over here. I went a little bit too far in this direction, but I eventually found it, which is over here. And I guess the challenge for this particular path is going to be to try and spiral around this column, because this column is going to take us all the way down to the mines of the dog. And I guess I've got to try and keep in mind where that column is at all times. And this is going to be kind of tricky. We're not allowed to use F3 in this series, as you guys know, so we've got to try and do this manual styles. I suppose it's a little bit of a personal Minecraft challenge to see if we can do this. And I guess it's probably going to spiral all the way around here. Going to do this really roughly for now, and I'll probably spend a lot of time off camera trying to make this this tunnel look really sweet. Probably do it on stream, actually. So if you want to come and check that out, guys, make sure you're following me on Twitch rather, at twitch.tv/ReNDoG TV, and make sure you're following me on Twitter also, twitter.com/RenTheDog, and I always put up a notification when I go live on Twitch. So yeah, if you want to come and see that, that'll be pretty sweet. But here's the columns, so that's good. And I suppose all we need to do is go round and round and round this column until we hit the mines of the dog. I have no idea how deep we got to go, and hopefully we won't break anything as we travel down this spiral. But let's see if we can get to the bottom of this bad boy and connect up to the mines of the dog. That's a good sign, Cyberdogs. I can hear the pulsing of the nether portal, which means we should be getting pretty close. I've managed to keep pretty close to the pillar so far, and I can hear that portal going which has always been quite a terrifying noise to me in Minecraft. I remember the first time that I ever went into the Nether, I was absolutely horrified by what I saw. All those disgusting red blocks everywhere. Ghasts were spitting at me. I think the first time we went into the Nether in the first series of Minecraft that we played, as we came out into the Nether, a ghast spat at us. I don't know if you guys can remember that. Those of you guys who are old school Cyberdogs, oh man, it was a horrible moment, I must say. And oh man, I had nightmares after that. But listen to that, the portal is kicking in. We can see the little particles here too. That's very interesting. Okay, there's the obsidian, which means that the portal should be right here. Oh, nice. Okay, so that is absolutely perfectly done. That's actually kind of good. Well done, Ren. I'm kind of proud of myself for this one, guys. And you know what we could actually do? I've just been thinking about this. Maybe the entrance into this secret passageway is behind the Nether portal. So this is our portal room, if you guys can remember. And if you've never seen it before, well, that means you haven't been watching the series. Hi, skeletons. Oh my goodness, how many skeletons are in there? Shall we get a little bit of light down here, actually, while we're working? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a portal room that the Mines of the Dog goes into. This is the way that we get into the Nether down here. And I suppose we've kind of changed the lore a little bit. When we first did this, the idea was that the gobbets set up a mine and then they dug into a Nether portal. But we're going to change that a little bit. This portal was here before the gobbets got here. And there is a very ancient passageway behind the portal that leads up into Moletown, right? And the gobbets, I don't know, maybe they contacted a very powerful wizard about this because they were terrified of this giant portal of doom and evil. And the wizards came by to the Mole Shire to try and help them out, try and figure out what was going on with that portal. And that's when the Mines of the Dog were created. And I guess the more industrial gobbets decided to turn the research tunnel into a mine at the same time. So I guess down here in the Mines of the Dog are gobbet miners and wizard researchers. Or something equally as nerdy as that. Anyway, that's awesome. That makes me super happy. Now we've got our secondary passageway down into the Mines of the Dog and into the Nether portal. And that's going to be able to allow us pretty easy access to the Nether from Moletown. We don't have to go all the way down the Mines of the Dog every time. So that's kind of sweet, man. Kind of nailed a couple of birds with one stone in today's episode. But yeah, obviously I've got loads and loads of work to do on this tunnel. It's looking real ugly right now. Lots of diorite all over the place. Lots of cleaning up work to do. So I think I'm going to say goodbye for now, guys. Go off camera and continue working on this a little bit. But I do hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to hit the frickin' like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, well, I don't know what's wrong with your faces, but hit the subscribe button so that I don't have to send anything via direct mail to your butt. You got me? Thanks for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing off from the Mole Shire, and we'll smell you all in the next episode.